And we're live on Juani the Podcast, episode 2. I am Juani, your host.
4.
Oh, what did I say?
Episode 2 and it's 4.
And we're live, Juani the Podcast, episode 4. I am Juani, your host, and today I have 2 special guests with me. We have Danny and Karen, both from the Rock'em team. If you guys don't already follow us on our Rock'em page, follow us Rock'em Official. And speaking about Rock'em, thank you for sponsoring today's video. If you guys have not heard of Rock'em, we are an online store that brings the best Western everything to you. Hats, boots, belts, clothes, anything you can think of. We got it. And these are the ladies behind the scenes that make it happen. So definitely give us a follow if you guys are not following us. And thank you again, Rock'em, for sponsoring today's video. Can we just save this clip and send it to both myself and Junior so we can get me paid for sponsoring? Oh, and by the way, go Astros! The Houston Astros are in the World Series, and we are so proud. Houston versus everyone. We don't care. We don't want to hear it. We don't want to battle on it. All we got to say is go Astros, go Houston, and let's go. Actually, today they're playing. It's their first game, and alguien aquí nos dijo que nos pusiéramos Astros gear today, and we're gonna guess who said it and didn't show up with it on.
Who?
Karen was like, we should wear Astros gear on Friday, and I actually told her I don't know if I have anything limpio, but then this morning I was like, oh my god, I gotta find something. I was even looking through like orange clothes, but I ended up finding this shirt, and then I get here and she gets here and I'm like,
what happened? But they look good, so that's all that matters.
yes, go Astros. And what else? There was something else that I wanted to say before we got started, but I don't know. But as you guys saw on today's title, we want to do this as a spooky episode. I'm so excited that I have 2 co-hosts with me today because nothing is more fun than a group of girls just telling scary stories, right? Yeah. Am I right? And we wanted to start and break off the ice to you guys con La Leyenda de la Planchada. I don't know if you guys have heard of it or have not. I had never heard of it until we started like prepping for this podcast. So we're going to be just telling you guys a little story behind it, and then we're going to go into like a little paranormal activities, yeah? Mm-hmm. Ooh.
Scary.
We just ate cake. But before we get started, do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, my name is Karen. Hi, my name is Karen. I am Juani's best friend, and I love to dance.
Fun fact, Karen and I met in elementary, and so we've been best friends ever since. Through elementary, through middle school. We didn't go to high school together. And we actually are not the type, or didn't used to be the type that used to hang out like every weekend, but we've always been there in each other's most important times in our lives. This was my maid of honor at my wedding, okay? Like, she has a really important role in my life, and here we are now. She just started with the Rock'em team, like, what, 2 months ago?
2 months, yeah.
2 months ago, and I think she's been killing it. Like, we're loving her here, and I hope that she continues to grow with us, because nothing makes me more happy than to have people that I love and that love me grow my company and being a part of, you know? So, yeah. And then we have
Danny. Yeah, so again, exciting part is that I've been working for Rock'em more than 2 years. That makes me excited. Mm-hmm. And I love, what do I love? To eat.
She does. She's the biggest foodie I know. Like, this girl can spend on food, okay? Pero no se queda con las ganas con nada. Like, she's craving something, she will get it.
Yeah.
And fun fact about her, she actually started working for Rock'em full-time before I even started working for Rock'em full-time. So she was a very fundamental part of like the growth, the structure, and all of that. And so very thankful to have her here and to have helped me like structure this like company that like was nothing, you know, from the beginning. So we're thankful for you. Thankful for my girls to be here. Bueno, sin ya darle tanto rodeo, vamos a hablar de una leyenda mexicana. Avísenme si ustedes se la saben de otra manera, porque when I was researching about it, there were so many different versions of it that I was like, which one is the correct one? So we're gonna just tell you guys the version that we saw that was the most common or the most correct, and we'll just go from there. En la historia del día de hoy vamos a estarles contando la leyenda de la planchada. Si ustedes no han escuchado, en México hay muchas leyendas, pero esta es una de las más grandes y las más largas. It's from the 1920s and it's from Ciudad de México. Y se trata de una joven que se llamaba Elaila. Eladia. ¿Eladia? A ver, espérense.
Eulalia. No. Something. Of course.
Se llama Eulaila. Ajá. Se llama el aula. El habla, Okay, yeah, serious. This is spooky. Okay, spooky mode.
Serious.
3, 2, 1. Se trata de una enfermera llamada el aula. ¿No, verdad? A ver, ya, el aula, ok.
El Aulia.
El aulia, ¿verdad?
No, el Aulia.
El aulia.
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Serious mode, spooky on. Spooky music on right now.
No, that's not it.
Okay. Estamos hablando de una leyenda del 1920s, so way back. And this one is from Ciudad de México. Y pasó en un hospital que se llamaba Hospital Juárez. Creo que ahorita ya le cambiaron de nombre. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the hospital is no longer like a hospital. Like, it's abandoned at this point. But it starts off with una enfermera que se llamaba Eulalia. Y era una enfermera muy joven, super dedicated to her job. It was one of those girls that just like absolutely loved what she did. She was happy. She was genuine. She was very like caring. She was a nurse. So, you know, she had an important role in like la vida de muchos pacientes. And she worked in the urgent care side of the hospital. So she had to do a lot of the hard work, you know, take care of people that were close to death or near death and all of that. Dice que siempre era muy enfocada, dedicada y todo eso, until one day a new doctor entered the hospital. Of course, como siempre los hombres arruinando todo lo que ven. No se crean. Pero sí, como entró un nuevo doctor al hospital, and all the girls were all over him because he was so cute, he was so handsome. Everybody was trying to get with him except Eulalia. And this catched his attention because she wasn't like jumping on him. And so anyways, time goes by, and at some point they had to do a shift together. And pues ya ahí pasa el flechazo, ahí se enamoran. And they just kind of start a relationship together. They said, you know, there were a couple that was in love, and she really fell for this guy. After some time, actually 0 to no time, she started hearing rumors from her coworkers, and they were basically just saying like, you know, no te lo tomes muy en serio, es mujeriego, like he tries to flirt with everybody, he tries to get with everyone, and she just didn't listen because, I mean, las envidiosas dirán, you know, like to her it was like, okay, they're hating because everybody wanted to get with him, I got him. So she felt like that's why these people were like talking shit or like trying to bring negative thoughts into her. Not long after they got engaged, he proposed to her, and she said yes. So you know, they're talking about their wedding, planning out their wedding, and el doctor Joaquín le dice que tiene que ir a un seminar. You want to take it over?
Yep. Okay, so whenever he says that he's going for a seminar, he's saying that he's going for 2 weeks. So he goes out.
Red flag.
Yeah, of course. And then he wants to, well, not that he wants to, they are having a ball at the hospital that they were working at. So one of the other workers invited her to go with him. And she was like, what? How am I going to go with you if I'm like engaged with somebody? And he's like, don't you know? And she just was really surprised that he was asking if she knew anything, and she was like, no, like, I'm clueless, what are you trying to tell me? And then he comes and tells her that he moved to another hospital, that he's no longer coming back, so that he got married to somebody else somewhere else, so that's why he had to leave. Like,
oh my God, imagine like being engaged to somebody and then something like this happens, you know?
scary.
Yeah. You want me to take it over from here? Karen's a little nervous. It's her first podcast. So, yeah, like she finds out that he quit his job at the hospital and he actually moved out of the city, and he was engaged, or he got married to somebody else. And this completely broke her heart. She was so devastated because she was really, really in love with him. And she was just, after this, all down the road. Like, yeah.
What happened?
What happened? I'm gonna press it. No, not that one. Not no. That one.
The right.
No.
That one.
We literally pressed all of them.
Okay.
We tried. Yeah. So she was very heartbroken about everything, and like honestly, everything was just downhill. There it was. Downhill from here. She couldn't recuperate after this. They said that like I think I forgot to like mention a few really important facts about her, but prior to like this whole breakup, she was a very beautiful woman. She was a woman that was always put together. Her hair was always very nice and neat, and her attire, her enfermera attire, siempre estaba bien planchado. Entonces de ahí viene el nombre La Planchada. Pues después de eso dicen que todo se fue a la chingada. She was just no longer herself. She was very heartbroken. She was no longer like put together. She really didn't care. She didn't care for the patients. The sweet, innocent, caring nurse was no longer, you know, she was heartbroken and like se estaba desquitando with her patients. And they said like she even let some patients die just because like tenía tanta amargura that she didn't want anybody else to be happy at this point. Like, I'm not happy, nobody else gets to be happy. So yeah, after a few years, she actually develops an illness that they say it was like a life or death illness, and she in her heart believed that this was like karma just getting her back and saying, okay, you did all this to all these people just because you were heartbroken, so it's coming back to you. And se empezó a arrepentir, you know, se empezó a arrepentir de todo lo que estaba haciendo, de lo que le había hecho a los pacientes and whatnot. And soon after she died. And they said not after she died, her soul started coming back to visit, like especially the hospital, the halls, because like, I don't know if you guys believe this, but they do say a lot that a lot of us, or that everyone has a purpose in life. And a lot of the times if you don't fulfill your purpose, that your soul just comes back to like try to finish, or like maybe your soul no se da cuenta que ya te fuiste, entonces a huevo quiere regresar to finish your purpose in life. And so that's it. She would come back and she would just like revisit. A lot of her ex-coworkers claimed they saw her like a year after her death. And then a lot of patients started like describing her, that she was coming in at night. So like they would say, oh, this nurse came in last night to help me. Like she told me this, she told me that. And like her description was that of el aula. Of Eulalia. And yeah, like her soul was not able to rest in peace. Actually, one patient claimed he was on a life or death like surgery or something like that, and he had to take his medications like on point after surgery, and he had a nurse like scheduled for him. Well, the nurse se quedó dormida en la noche, and she didn't come back to like give him his medicine. And so in the morning when she woke up and she realized that she never woke up in the middle of the night to give the patient his medicine, she like freaked out. She went to the room only to find out from the guy that another nurse had catered to him y le había dado su medicina. So after like speaking to him, she was like, I mean, it can't be. There was no other nurse on shift, so it couldn't have been anyone else. There was nobody else here. And this guy just said that there was una mujer muy guapa, muy bien vestida, con su traje bien planchado, with her hair very nicely put together, and that was very sweet and very caring. And he actually said she even stayed behind and talked to him for a little bit and told him the story about how she once dated a doctor and he broke her heart, and she was heartbroken like after he did this to her. So the characteristics was that of La Planchada, and then there was another lady that was also after surgery having to be like taken care of intensively, and she was actually very freaked out because like when she described her, obviously they told her there's nobody with that description here, and she was like, I knew there was something wrong because she went into the restroom but she never came out. So like, I mean, this happened, and that is scary. They said after that, like, obviously hasta ahorita supuestamente todavía se le sigue apareciendo, and it was all because a man broke her heart, and she could never recuperate from that. Yeah, and she made some bad decisions, so like her karma was never ever let her rest in peace, to where she kept coming back and trying to heal her patients or heal the patients. Por eso muchos dicen que es una enfermera diabólica, pero muchos dicen que es una enfermera muy buena because she caters to patients that really need her and that are not getting like the attention that they need, so she caters to them the way their nurse doesn't cater to them. So that's scary. And speaking about that, actually, se me acaba de venir a la mente porque estábamos hablando de que la gente regresa cuando no ha acabado su propósito. And so my grandma and my grandpa were always very, very close. And this is a story time. This is a real life story time that happened to us, or that was told to us by my grandma. Rest in peace. She's no longer with us. But my grandpa passed away before she did. Y ella decía que él regresaba en las noches, and that he would like literally stand there and talk to her. And he's like, creo que le pasó like for a month straight, to where every night he would come back and he would talk to her and he would talk to her and he would talk to her. And it was not until my grandma le dijo like, tú ya estás muerto, ya no eres de este mundo, ya no puedes regresar, that like que él se despidió and he never came back to talk to her again. But this is like real life stuff. Like she told us that like she was very freaked, like she was like, I was freaked out because I knew he wasn't gone, like he was gone, but I was not scared because I knew it was him, but like lo tuve que correr para que él supiera que ya no estaba en este mundo. Yeah. What about you guys? Have you guys ever encountered anything like that, or like anybody that you know?
No, just dreams, but not like seeing the person.
Yeah. Oh, get your mic a little closer because I feel like it's not catching your story time. Yeah, so that, I mean, that's really scary. And honestly, like, I believe in like an afterlife. Like, I believe it's us and then it's our soul. And I believe that the soul really leaves, and what it does after it leaves our body, who knows? Freaking knows. But that's scary to think about, like, I don't know. I guess that's why you got to take every day as it comes, because imagine you leave tomorrow and like your purpose is not over, and like you're not even able to make it to heaven because you're not ready to like leave the earth, like it's scary to think about.
Definitely scary.
Right? But yeah, guys, we wanted to tell you guys a story, nomás to break the ice with this spooky episode. And I also I want them to tell me any like spooky stories that they might have, and then we'll get into a few stories that my followers sent me on Instagram. If you're not following me on my personal Instagram, I'm gonna leave them somewhere up here, so we can talk a little bit about that. Okay. You've had like paranormal encounters?
Yeah, I feel like it's creepier because it's like paranormal, but it's within somebody that is still alive. Like, I have a cousin now. I think she's like 26 by now. But by then she was, I believe, if I remember right, she was like 7, 8 the most. And we used to live at some apartments, and I'm sorry that I'm telling her story like this, but I'm not going to say her name, of course, right? She used to love going to the dumpsters to take out stuff that people would leave and whatever. She loved doing that, but we always will get her in trouble and tell her not to do that. And then one day we were looking for her everywhere. My mom was looking for her. My stepdad and we were all looking for her because she was supposed to be inside the house. The house was locked. It had the chain because we used to live in an apartment, so it had the chain and everything, and we couldn't find her. We kept going. We were like, oh, maybe she's in a dumpster, you know? So we went to look for her. She wasn't there. We opened every...
Sorry, was this in Mexico or here?
No, here. And we were looking for her in every room. We took everything out of the closets. Maybe she was hiding in the closets. There was a closet in the hallway, and it's probably like 3 feet by 3 feet. It's not even big. And we had boxes and boxes of clothes in there. So we were like, oh no, she can't be there. But we still moved the boxes and everything. And we kept looking for her. And then after I want to say an hour of looking for her, she comes out of that same closet. And then we're like, girl, where were you? And she's like, I've been here. I'm like, we looked in there. You were not in there. She's like, yeah, it's because her grandma had just passed away, from her dad's side, a little bit ago. And she was like, my grandma kept bugging me. She kept bugging me. So I went to hide inside the closet. But how? There was no room in the closet. You
couldn't find her?
No, and there was no room.
Did she say, if she, did she go to another dimension or,
I don't think we asked, too deep into it because we were, so surprised. Yeah, honestly, we were freaking out and surprised that she said she was in the closet when we looked for her in there, and she was not in there.
Oh, my God.
And that she said that her grandma was bugging her, and she was dead by then.
So scary.
It is.
And do you think she remembers now?
Yeah, she always tell us that she can see things, and then that her grandma talking to her if she was dead, so she still says things like that, she believes she can see a lot of stuff.
Really? And I feel like bueno, yo especialmente yo he ido a retiros espirituales, and I've come across people that say they can talk to people that are no longer with us, I mean mediums, I guess. I've met people that personally have said they could do that, and that's just scary. That's a scary don to have, scary. Because if it's something that's un don que tiene ella, is how do you
manage it?
Yeah, how do you manage to not I feel like I would go crazy.
Yeah, because imagine people talking to you.
Yeah, and they also say that little kids can see people.
Yeah, they always say little kids and dogs or little kids and animals, right? And which is I don't know. I don't remember as a little kid seeing anything out of the normal, but if I ever hear Adriel or Arianelli, I don't even know what I would do. I would probably be vamos a un manicomio. I get the chicken.
My daughter, the youngest one, she always says that there's a man that tells her, hey, come. Oh, I know, she doesn't that's where her crib is at, and she does not go near there because she says, no, the man is there, and he's telling me, come.
Oh, my God.
And she's been saying that for years.
Have you guys...
Are you still living there?
And we are back! Yay. Back and better than ever. Oh, so you were saying that you guys are still living there?
Yeah, we have to. I mean, that's the only place we have. But
we gotta go.
Yeah, she keeps saying she doesn't want to sleep in there, and she keeps saying, no, that man tells me come.
Y si ven, bueno, no sé si crean ustedes en eso, pero si ven, si bendicieron whenever you guys moved in.
Yes, and the worst part, I don't know what to believe anymore because on that corner I'm a huge San Judas believer, so I have a 5 feet almost San Judas, and it's right on that corner. And from that same corner is the one that she says that she can see a man that tells her come. And
you don't think it's San Juditas?
Well, I honestly thought, I was like, what if it's him? But she's genuinely scared, so I wouldn't think.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I wouldn't think she'll be scared if it was San Judas.
Oh my God. Well, speaking about that, at my house, desde que we moved in, bueno, ahorita ya no me ha pasado nada, but whenever we first had moved in, I don't think Arianelli was here yet, but I've had los picture frames dropped. Toño and I hear steps sometimes. Dice Toño que Toño is my husband, by the way, for those of you guys that are new to my podcast. Pero dice Toño que a él le habían dicho que cuando se te funden mucho los focos es porque hay espíritus. Y a nosotros se nos funden los focos de la nada. I think right now my restroom, my powder room foco se fundió. And we've already changed the bowl 1,000 times. El foco del restroom se fundió. the closet upstairs doesn't, el foco se fundió. The one in the middle, el foco se fundió. And mind you, like, we moved in and we put everything new. And, like, todo se está fundiendo. Pero no tengo miedo. Como, por ejemplo, cuando se cayeron los picture frames. I was in my makeup room. I remember I was getting my makeup done. And I heard them all drop. And I got up. I went to the living room. I was by myself this day. And I went to the living room. And I looked and it was dropped. Pero no me dio miedo, güey. And, like, they say no todo lo que... no todo lo que pasa o todo lo que escuchas que es como paranormal is bad. That you shouldn't be scared of everything because you are going to be able to tell when it's something scary and when it's not. Y eso me lo dijeron en un retiro. So desde ese entonces, like, eso me lo grabé. Okay, am I scared or am I not scared? Because if I'm scared, I need to be more scared. But if I'm not scared, then I need to not be worried about it. But, like, yeah, we hear steps. We hear... I think there's been a couple of times that Toño has said that... that I've actually asked Toño, can you get up to go check who, like, se escucha que alguien está entrando, se escucha que alguien está caminando, and, like...
Did you bless your house?
No, I didn't bless my house. I didn't bless my house, and, like, we've been wanting to do it since we moved in, but, like, por una razón u otra, nunca llegamos a hacerlo.
Priest, call right now.
Are you available? Yeah, por una razón u otra, nunca lo hicimos, pero... Les digo que no tengo miedo, which obviously I feel like we do have to. Right. I'm a Catholic, and I mean, to some of you, it may not make a difference, and it's okay. I respect everybody's opinion, but I do feel like I don't know what happened there before I was there. You know, it's not a new house, true. It's not a new build, so I don't know, like, if anything happened or what these people practice or anything like that. I'm not scared of the house. I feel like that house is my safe space, and I love being there, and I enjoy being there. But at the same time, like you said, uno nunca sabe, you know, like, I need to maybe work on getting it, like, blessed, you know. But at the same time, I used to live in una traila before, and the same thing would happen. Like, so I don't know if it's maybe like a espíritu that maybe it's following us. But I don't think if it is an espíritu that's following us, I don't think it's a bad espíritu because like no, porque no me da miedo. No me da miedo, you know? Yeah. Have you ever had any like paranormal?
The light bulb, yes.
The light thing too? Pero se te fundió, no? Or it just flickers?
It just like flickers.
And it's crazy because we were talking about that here in the office, huh?
Yes.
We were talking about that, and as soon as we mentioned it, todas las luces del lobby area went off. They completely went off, and like I was like,
we were just talking about it. And
and it happened. And you know, Rockham tiene un niñito. Marce.
I
don't know if Marce is there. You guys, Marce, she can tell us over the phone. I mean, yeah. Oli, ¿quieres hacer una aparición?
¿No? ¿Por teléfono?
¿Quieres decirnos por teléfono de cuando se les apareció el niño? Es que Rockham también tiene un niñito que nos persigue y que nos ayuda y que nos protege, yo creo. Y Marce ha sido una de las que no sales en cámara si quieres. Y Marce ha sido una de las que lo ha presenciado. De hecho, yo pregunté en Instagram que me preguntaran o me platicaran sobre sus actividades o sus encounters paranormales. Y Pau fue una de las que me respondió y me dijo, sí, nosotros con un niño en la bodega, pregúntale a Marce. Sí. So, Marce, dinos tu testimonio.
Bueno, pues estábamos Fercho,
Ajá.
estaba Pau y estábamos yo. Pau estaba encargada de mayoreo,
Ajá.
Fercho iba empacando.
Ajá.
Y de repente vimos a un niño que estaba enfrente en la bodega, como jugando, brincoteando. Entonces yo le digo a Pau, tienes gente enfrente. Y luego ella dice, no hay nadie. Y va, se asoma y no había nadie. Salió a la calle y no había nadie. Y ya volteé con Fercho y me dice, sí, había un niño ahí corriendo. Pero pues no había nadie, ni persona adulta, ni niño, ni nada.
Pero tú, creo que, no sé si fuiste tú o Pau que me había dicho que también entre los pasillos, ¿verdad? Se escuchaba a veces alguien correr.
O se siente como la vibra de que pasa alguien, o se caen las cosas.
Oh my God. Sí. Es que soy yo, güey, me están siguiendo a mí. Ay, disculpen mi desmadre.
Y de hecho ese mismo día nos mudamos para acá, para la oficina, y se abrió el elevador solo también.
Ya se lo trajeron. Ay, y se fueron las luces aquí. It's all adding up.
Yeah.
We need to...
Marce, te vas de regreso para aquí.
Con el niño.
Tenemos que traer un
Por
padre
favor.
aquí a que nos bendizca. Nosotros ya... Entonces, el
lunes
lunes cada quien con su veladora, por favor. Y con su rosario y vamos a
Halloween.
rezar. Ay,
Ay,
sí,
señor,
el
no me
Padre
digas.
Nuestro por toda la oficina para bendecirla. Wow.
Ay, no.
Pues bueno, hay que cuidarnos mucho. Gracias, Marce. Sí, les digo que también aquí nos ha pasado así como varias cositas, pero bueno, lo del niño yo no lo he
¿Presenciado?
presenciado, pero
Gracias a Dios.
lo de las luces, cuando se apagaron aquí las luces, a mí no me dio miedo. Tú eres bien miedosa, ¿verdad?
Sí.
Porque luego que se apagaron las luces, she was like, oh my God, like, the lights went off. You guys, we were just talking, the lights went off. And I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, that's me.
No pasa nada. I guess speaking about that, I did, like I said, asked you guys on Instagram to send me a few of your paranormal stories. And then I also went on Reddit because Tito told me to go on Reddit and find like a few stories. And on my Instagram, most people were just saying that they like I think I'm just gonna start the conversation off with this one because it's happened to me before. Not exactly like this, but it's happened. Oh, someone said, is there an email I can send you mine? I'm going to send her my email so that way maybe this can be a part 2. And I'll do it on Monday and I'll post it on Monday.
Yep. On Halloween.
Ooh.
Spooky.
Y luego, de hecho, Toño, la mamá de Toño ha presenciado muchas cosas paranormales. And as you guys know, or those of you that have been following me for a while, Toño's dad passed away. But I think that's a story for him to tell. So I'll definitely ask him to join me, or maybe even ask him to join me today after work and see if he can tell that side of the story. But I was asleep and I woke up and saw a shadow that moved. Y era el diablo swinging its tail. Oh my God, yes. And so with that, let's get on to the whole dream conversation because I feel like there's so much controversy, like scientifically speaking and like realistically speaking about what that is. A lot of people call it sleep paralysis. Nosotros en México le decimos que se te sube el muerto. Y a mí se me ha subido el muerto varias veces. De hecho, cuando estaba soltera, and then I got married, and then like the heaviest experience I had with sleep paralysis was not it was not too long ago, but it was long ago. It was like in I would say maybe 2018, 2019, and after that ya no me ha pasado, gracias a Diosito. Pero fue intenso. ¿A ustedes se les ha subido el muerto o no?
Gracias a Dios. No.
¿Y a ti?
She said only one time
One
that I
time.
remember.
And how did it go? Okay, you guys, so sorry. We don't have a cameraman, and it seems like somebody doesn't want us to be great because the movie keeps stopping. But I'm going to cut off the whole story from the beginning, and you can tell us from the beginning. You said you experienced sleep paralysis. You were awake.
I was awake. Well, yeah, because my eyes
open.
were open. So, and I knew, like I said, I knew I couldn't see anything, but I could feel like if something was on top of me, like really heavy. And then, so that's what happened. I don't recall how I even woke up or if I went back to sleep, or I really don't. And I didn't want to tell my mom because I was like, oh, I'm going to freak her out. But then somehow one day we were talking and I was telling her, she was like, oh my God, the same day that you're telling me about, I saw like a black shadow. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, and I didn't want to tell you because I don't want to scare you because it was basically on your room. But then I was like, but I didn't want to tell you because I was scared that, I could feel like something heavy. So.
Yeah.
And
Oh my God.
I feel like that, honestly, that was something bad because it was, we were removing floors and we saw, you know how, I've seen it in movies. I don't know in real life, but in movies, like, they have, like...
Okay, we are back. I feel like we really are getting tested with this podcast, pero no pasa nada. So, you said you guys opened the... Okay, let's start not from the beginning, but you had the whole paranormal thing happen. Right. And you said your mom saw it was a shadow, but she didn't want to tell you and you didn't want to tell her.
Right.
And then you guys removed the floor?
Yeah, we removed, because they had carpet, so we're like, oh, we don't want that, and they were going to put floors in them. So when they removed, you know how everything on the bottom should be like wood, and on the wood there was like a devil star. Well, I don't know how the devil star looks, but because of movies, I think that's how it looks. And it was on the floor and it was drawn, and yeah, so they had to cut the whole part. Like my stepdad cut the part so he could get rid of it because there was a whole star.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's so scary. I think the scariest thing, going back to like the sleep paralysis, I had it before, like when I was like young, but it happened to me very vividly in 2018 at like 9 p.m. Just kidding. No, it happened to me very vividly in 2018. Toño had just gotten a night job. Well, his job had just asked him if he could take like the night shift. And mind you guys, yo no soy nada miedosa. Like I told you, like sí soy miedosa. Es raro. Sí soy miedosa para muchas cosas, pero no soy muy miedosa tampoco. Like it takes a lot for something to creep me out, like in a scary sense. And so like yo ya me había quedado sola antes. Like Toño had gone on vacation, I think to Mexico once or twice, and had left me behind. And like no pasó nada. Pero a él lo mueven in the night routine, y desde la primera noche like se me subía el muerto. And like for you, best friend, that you've never experienced it, is I was sleeping though. Like I would fall asleep, and once I would fall asleep, then you feel like a super heavy like weight on top of you, and like it's like you're screaming like, pero no te sale nada. La voz no te sale. You can't scream. You can't talk. Like you're trying to call for help, pero no puedes porque no te sale la voz. Like whatever is on top of you is keeping you from like saying it.
And how do you stop it?
I think eventually your body just like releases. Yeah. Like I think if I'm not mistaken, you just wake up, right? And you're like freaked out because you remember what happened. You know, some dreams you can't remember, but like you vividly remember what happened, but like you can't do anything about it. Pues me pasó por una semana straight. I'm talking about day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5. Day 6, Toño didn't work on Sundays. So el 6th day, that's whenever I was like, he was working, I think it was from like, and it was not even night. He was working from like 5 to 5, maybe, like something like that. And so like se me subió el muerto todos los días, y ya el último día, se me sube el muerto otra vez. Yo ya sabía lo que iba, honestamente, y like sí le decía a Toño, like, se me está subiendo el muerto, I don't know if I'm overthinking that you're not here or whatever, you know, but se me está subiendo. Pues ya la última noche se me sube otra vez el muerto, pero esta vez recuerdo like that I actually opened my eyes and it was still on top of me, and I looked to the side and there was like literally like a shadow, like a black shadow con los ojos, o sea, el shadow era como de ese color y los ojos como muchísimo más negros, like you could see the difference. Yeah, but I saw somebody standing there. So like I went like this, I saw him, and I purposely closed my eyes again, only to like get trapped in the muerto again, to where like I couldn't talk, I couldn't move, I couldn't say anything. So I hung up, I like snapped out of it. I remember I was so scared. I was like, what the fuck? And like I was on the edge of the bed, and the muerto was like right here, like right next to me. And I called Toño and I was like, you need to come home right now. Like, I don't care what you need to do, but you need to tell them to put you back on day shift, because I just saw a black shadow. And I know I'm not crazy, because you know I don't do this, and I really don't care, and I'm an independent woman, but like I'm really like freaked out over here, and like I just saw the muerto, and like I'm gonna try to go to sleep, but I can't. I need you to get out of work early. And like he literally had to leave his job. It was like 2 a.m. I'm so embarrassed, but it was like 2 a.m, and he left early because when I would try to go back to sleep, I would snap right back in. And it was not like I would snap back in, and I would get up and like still remember, and then I would try to fall asleep, and then it would happen again. So I was like, you know what, like you just have to come home. This happened like around like maybe I would say like 10-11ish, and then by 2, when I saw that I wouldn't stop dreaming about it, I was like, you need to come home. Like there's no way I could do it. Yeah, like that was the scariest thing, and I think that was the last time that it happened. And I remember like I used to even do research like the whole week, since I was so freaked out. I used to do research like how to wake up from sleep paralysis, or how to pray when you have sleep paralysis, and like decía que dijeras el Padre Nuestro slowly. And I think somebody else said, like, dice el Padre Nuestro, like, backwards. And, like, I was trying to remember it backwards. But then when I was on the zone, I was like, wait,
No way.
¿Cómo era? No me acordaba. Oh, no, que también tenías que decir la sangre de Cristo es más fuerte, o me protege, o es más fuerte. Something like that. La sangre de Cristo es más fuerte. La sangre de Cristo es más fuerte. And it will, like, help you snap out of it quicker. But I've read that, like, some people say that it's sleep paralysis and that, like, scientifically it's just your body that is stressed and whatever X. But a lot of people say, like, there's, like, that's just a theory, that there's no, like, physical evidence that says this is why our body goes into that because if, like, there is an outside world and evil activity, then that could be possible, that something is happening to you external to, like, what the science says, you know? And so let's finish off this podcast. I know I talked most of the time, you guys, and I feel so embarrassed because for Lulu's podcast, we were so excited. By the way, thank you to everyone that watched that podcast. We were so excited about the podcast. We even, like... we...
Snap out of it.
We even fist pump after the podcast, and a lot of you were... had a lot of opinions about, like, the whole podcast itself, but I thought it was great. I thought she did an amazing job. I have seen every side of Lulu, the happy, the chill, the relax, and so, like, para mí it was nothing new. So, but anyways, they also said that I kept interrupting her, so I'm so sorry. In case you guys are wondering, this is their first time, so I'm trying not to overwhelm them too much with, like, the camera and the mics, and I got... headphones and todo el show. Maybe for the next time you guys are more comfortable and I can let you guys kind of be in their zone, and maybe we can do an episode with each of you together and just talk about your life, your experiences and stuff like that. But just a disclaimer. But anyways, I told you guys I also went on Reddit because Tito, if you guys don't follow Tito, I'm going to leave his Instagram somewhere around here. He is my marketing genius here at Rockham, and he creates all the awesome videos that we have. And he's also, like, a super interesting guy. He has all these cool experiences that he's gone through, and he does his research about every single little thing. And so he told me, why don't you go on Reddit so you can get some stories there that you could read on your podcast. So I just downloaded one, and we're going to finish off the podcast with this one, and we'll let you guys go on. I'm going to try to do a part 2, my paranormal encounters. La pregunta fue, cuéntanos una historia de cuando se te subía el muerto. A mí me pasaba muy seguido cuando era niño y siempre veía una persona de gran altura con un sombrero, pero toda negra, como si fuera una sombra, y solo se le veían los ojos rojos. Pero cuando fui creciendo empecé a ver cosas muy locas, tipo monstruos, y me hablaban. Pero la última vez que me pasó, vi a 2 personas que eran unos demonios, por así decirlo, y escuchaban todo lo que estaba diciendo y querían robar en donde yo estaba. Al percatarse de ello, uno se lanzó en mi contra y yo, sin poderme mover porque se le había subido el muerto, me empezó a clavar un cuchillo. Me dolió mucho, 9 apuñaladas. En la última grité y me pude mover. Me desperté y fui a lavarme la cara. Entonces me chequé la espalda en donde fueron las puñaladas y tenía 9 marcas. Estuvo muy loco. Fui con un psicólogo que también era sacerdote y me dijo que sí puede pasar. Lo que tu mente siente como real se refleja en el cuerpo y que a Freud le faltó investigar más sobre mi sueño. Y me dijo que eso pasa porque tu mente no entra en el modo de hibernación, pero que tu cuerpo sí. Entonces, cuando eso pasa, tienes que hacer por despertar. Pararte, intentar hacer pipí o tomar agua para que tu cuerpo y tu mente se sincronice y así puedas volver a dormir. Wow. So there is a good tip. If you ever get sleep paralysis, I guess you just have to, and that was my issue, like, that I would just try to go back to sleep without doing anything extra to, like, try to really wake myself up from the fear of, and I would just...
But I feel like the fear itself don't want to let you get up and go somewhere in the house, you know?
Yeah, because it's definitely scary. Like, it's not something that you can just go back to and, like, not think about it, you know? But that was our podcast for today. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. We definitely enjoyed recording it because we had a few mishaps in between, and a few of our friends joined us, I think. But we are ready to go now.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's 6:30.
6:39.
6:39. It's really dark outside, actually.
Yeah, we can't even see outside anymore.
No.
It's all dark.
Damn. But thank you, girls, for joining me in today's podcast. Let me know if you guys want to see a podcast with each of these girls on their own. But thank you, ladies, for joining me in today's podcast, and thank you everybody for tuning in for another episode, Juani the Podcast, episode 4. Let's go. Bye.